Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Angry Cast and Bala Joker 2021. How you doing? So we've got a couple of things we need to get done. One being that we have a quest going on right now, which is part of the Rackie Jobinson jersey. And the only reason we're doing it is because of the legendary, I think it's the Yao Guai hide that we need for crafting these expert jumpsuits. We need a few of them. So we are going to go just use that, get it in, so we can have a little discussion, because that's what we do. Oh, whoops. Ah! Search for Rackie Jobinson's baseball jersey. Last inning or not? No, it's not. There's way more to do this thing. This thing's like, what, 15 parts long? Speaking of long things, so, as always, we talk about things. Oh God, I've been watching season 4 of Westworld. I was kind of actually not really looking forward to a new season after last one, but then I went back and I watched season 3, and it kind of put me into a better place for things. Actually, season 3 ended up being a lot better than I remembered it. And if you've never watched Westworld, then you may not want to watch, if you don't want to be spoiled anyways. But, so, Westworld, if you don't know, was based off of Michael Crichton novel that was turned into a movie back in the 70s, where a theme park that had like a Western theme and robots were like NPCs, I guess you would say, in the park. They like malfunction and go haywire and start killing people. It's like Jurassic Park, but with robots. So you can kind of see where Michael Crichton, of course he's the one that authored that. But it was, Yul Brynner, big movie, cult classic from the 70s. And they did a series on it back in 2016 with Ed Harris, Thandie Newton, Evan Rachel Wood, James Marsden, Anthony Hopkins, Jeffrey Wright. I mean, a ton of people in this show. And it was, of course, the Wild West theme, where these hosts, as they're called, they're androids, basically. They will, do everything to, give you this experience in the park. And you can actually, it's like a moral flexibility in a sense. And the show is known for having like these weird twists and time jumps and all that kind of thing. It's also, a question of what does it mean to be alive and in control and have free will. And so season 1 dealt with the hosts becoming sentient because of things called reveries, that there were previous memories that they put into their programming. And the way they handle the programming and the language and all that stuff and loops and algorithms, and it's pretty damn cool if you're like, nerdy like that. And so we have come now to the 4th season. Well, the 2nd season was sort of like, okay, the park is completely in disarray. There was a huge massacre. Now we need to clean up that mess, and the hosts want to get out of the park, or they want to get somewhere else. That they become sentient and all that stuff, and they're mounting an attack against humans, which you're not supposed to be able to do, but they've figured a way to violate their prime directive, kind of, since there are 3 laws of robotics in a way, and are now tearing mad across the entire landscape of the park. And then of course it also shows that this company that had Westworld didn't just have Westworld. They had like Shogun World and other parks as well, but that were all sort of like, they're all copies of a copy. And it's kind of like funny in a way. It's like, oh yeah, this is how people do it today. They do something really, really well, and then they just copy the hell out of it, and it's all derivative. And then season 3 took it to the real world, where one of the main character host of Dolores, played by Evan Rachel Wood, leaves the park and takes these what they're called pearls, which is basically the CPU of a host, and enough material to go and make more hosts with these 5 pearls, which are basically copies of herself and one other person. And she begins to try to take the world over, or take out, the humans that basically enslaved them in a sense, the people who created them and abused them, and now it's like, hey, let's go, turnabout's fair play. And in doing that, she enlists the aid of a guy named Caleb, played by Aaron Paul, who is a construction worker who is also a soldier, who is sort of like, they make this huge parallel between the hosts having these loops that they're always on, that they always do the same thing over and over again, and they never have any difference in it, and they don't understand that they have free will, and they don't they don't know all that stuff, and the system keeps them in their place. They can't do certain things. They can't be certain levels. They're always assigned to the same job, and they make it the same thing with humans, is that humans are kept on a loop. They're only allowed to be a certain role in life, and they'll never aspire to anything greater because the system won't let them. And there's actually a AI computer that's dictating all of that to them, which was called Rehoboam, I think, or something like that, which is based off of a king of Israel. Like Solomon was its predecessor, and she aims to take it down, and of course, then we have the character of Maeve, who is like the brothel owner, who is now who became really sentient, can deprogram. She now has super. She can control machines and all the other stuff, and cause other hosts to shut down and everything else. And she's working with the guy that created this Rehoboam to stop Dolores from just sabotaging everything. But they're it's weird because they're both being used on either side. And it ends with them shutting down Rehoboam. Now the 4th season kicks on, and it's 8 years later. Caleb is there's no longer a war between machines and man. Caleb is now a construction worker. He's got a family, and there is a not a truce, but there's sort of a lull, and then it starts up again because one of the copies of Dolores from season 3, who was Tessa Thompson, from Valkyrie from Thor, she was playing a version of Dolores, who she was actually a character in season 2 and season 1, who then was replaced with a robot, and now she's even replaced with Dolores, and she sort of they veer off of a path. They were the same person for 5 seconds, and then they veered off into different directions. So where Dolores sort of didn't want to kill off humanity, they call her Haloris. Hale, what's her name? Charlotte Hale, and Dolores, she wants to do that. So season 4 is about Haloris, taking out humanity, and it's pretty damn cool. And I I wasn't looking forward to this new season, but it's been keeping me, and of course now again they recycle a lot of the stuff from season 1, because now they have a new park that's based off of the 20s and the golden age, and no, okay, Deathclaw there. Let's see. Okay, let's see what that does. Oh, never mind. Didn't matter. They just recycled the same park to be the same thing as it was in season 1, but it's the 20s instead of the Old West. And now they're still trying. They're really tapping into our biggest fears of data sharing, privacy, and all these other things, and now even the pandemic as well. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to spoil it because we're only four episodes in, and we've already had two major gotcha moment twists to the show. So we don't want to. I don't want to spoil you on that, but on HBO, if you get HBO Max, you can watch it. It's they're usually about 8 to 10 episodes a season, so you don't have to worry about 24 episodes like other shows. And I would highly recommend watching it. It's just, there's a lot of duality and a lot of themes, and it's sci-fi, and it's not for kids. Definitely not for kids in any sense. But yeah, I highly recommend it. In fact, it was funny because speaking of Westworld and Fallout Shelter, there was a game that a mobile game that they brought out for Westworld after the first season that was shut down because it copied Fallout Shelter. The same idea, to build your own park and service the host, service the guests and all the other stuff, and it was like the same thing. But instead of building rooms onto a vault, you're building parts to the theme park and deploying, instead of dwellers, you deployed hosts. So yeah, cool. All right, we got ourselves what we wanted to get out of this, and we'll head back and we'll do something else. All right, we brought him back in. We're going to send him back out, but first let's see. Now we have the. Oh, we've unlocked another recipe. But we have expert jumpsuit. We needed 5 of these Yao Guai hides. We had 4, so we can go ahead and craft another one of them. So that takes care of a little bit of stuff. And let's see. I think we have everything that we can send them back out for another quest. Game Show Gauntlet. Ooh, we've got Game Show Gauntlet, and we've got No Crying in Baseball. Both come with a thing. So I think the next 2 quests we're going to do is for these. But first, we're going to send out Yao, and they've all got expert jerseys on, or expert jumpsuits, sorry, and Vengeance, which works out pretty well. Worked out pretty good. So yeah, let's send them out, and then we will. We've got other folks still out there. Richard Haddis, the Dumbledore #1, is getting leveled up to level 50, and Larry Berry, the first episode title, Larry Berry, is on his way back. We've got these things here we're still doing. This Deathclaw attacks with no casualties. If I get attacked by a Deathclaw, it'll be easy. And I will use Pip to get 3 of that out of the 6 off of 1 attack. And then this one, I don't know if it's ever going to happen because I haven't had any raiders attacking us. But we're going to have probably 10 more weapons here soon off of these 2 dwellers out there in the open coming back. And we are still stuck having to go through. I mean, we're full up right now on our dwellers being trained. And once we get to the point, like a tipping point, we got it pretty much, except for these 2 things here, we've got everybody in rooms. And yeah, so we can. I got people to put in there. I gotta put these guys in. I'm gonna have to move these rooms and put in my power room here, and then we can put in the Nuka Cola bottling on either side, and that'll be great. So we'll do that next. Okay, yeah, we cleared out this one, moved them down here. I extended the lounge because I need some more space. I need another bottleneck breaker, and that can be used for, to help us out a little bit there as people get moved through here. So let's go ahead and put in another nuclear power plant. Let's see here, nuclear power plant. Where are you at, master friend? There we are. Nuclear reactor, sorry. Nuclear reactor. Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear, as Homer Simpson would say. And then let's add on our bottling plant here on this side. Now that's the bottler. And then we will be able to fill in 12 more here. So there we go. Let's upgrade it to Nuka Cola bottler, to Nuka Cola station, to Nuka Cola plant. All right, now we have all of our peeps up here. We will get them to where they need to be. It needs to be an E. E. Let's see here. Let's get you into strength. Get you down here. Saw another one of you was in here. Let's see. You are wearing already an E4, so we'll just put you right in here. And you, my friend, are in a perception. We should put you into an endurance as well. Come on. Endurance, E5. You can go in that one, and you can work in there, so we'll have that. Now remember, this gives us both 55, which is actually, it's 55, both. I don't know how they split it, because that ain't going to go. I think we're going to get a half of a food or half of water, but yeah, we get them both. And that's everybody in that room, I think. Oh, we got one more person here. You, my friend, we're going to put you into, you need to be, we need more. Make sure I got enough people on power duty. We'll bring in those other two. One from the, one who's already level 50, wearing, wearing a strength 4. Put them in, and then Mr. Richard Harris, he's wearing an E. We'll put him right into the Nuka Cola Plant, and that's how we'll do that. All right, that is what we're gonna drop it today. I you know, notice the uptick on views from What If and Awesome Possum. If you still have any ideas of what you want to see, let me know in those comments for the What If, because I don't really have a lot of ideas right now. I've been focusing elsewhere. And, you know, I'm going to move you down here. Whoops, no. I'm going to move Mr. Handy down here. Alright, so we have... Oh, here, another thing. Bottle and Cappy were in here, and I was getting rid of the training rooms that were on this level. And there was only one block over here, and this too was blank and looked like that. And he, son of a bitch, walked right through and into the void and then showed up over here. I was like, oh my gosh. So apparently those two connect even if there's a door there, especially if you have a elevator. Like, I wonder what would happen if I got rid of this elevator. Let's do a little experiment. Yeah, it's still there, but it's not gonna do anything. So yeah. Alright, well, I don't need to have the elevator there for right now. That'll be fine. We're good everywhere else. So that's all we're gonna do for now. We'll see you next time, and keep it, you know, post us. I spent 100,000 caps doing all that because I kept screwing it up. But keep us posted on what you want to see for the What If, and thanks for watching, and we appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, take care of the planet. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.